So as you can see, it's a very spacious property. There's lots of natural light, lots of green space for your kids to run around in.
Yes, well, as long as there aren't any crazy people living in the closet. Yes. Hello and welcome to Random Movie Time. Today's feature is the 2019 South Korean comedy thriller Parasite, directed by Bong Joon-ho, starring Kang-ho, Sun-kyun, Yeo-jeong, Choi Woo-shik, Park Soo-dam, Jang Hye-jin, Park Myung-hoon, and Lee-jung-eun. So this tells the story of a impoverished working class family living in Seoul, and one day their son actually gets a job being a tutor at a wealthy person's home, and soon the whole family figures out a scheme where they can all get employment at the same home, and things are going very swimmingly for the family until a secret room is discovered. And I won't tell you any more than that because this movie is very original and very creative and very interesting, and things take such a crazy turn from there. What did you think of this movie, Shannon?
Well, yeah, I like this film. I didn't love it, but I really appreciate how different it is. It is billed as a dark comedy, and it is an obvious commentary on a classist society. This is also the writer and the director of Snowpiercer, which was also a blatant commentary on classism, directed by Bong Joon-ho, as Tommy was saying. So, I mean, if you like Snowpiercer, you might like this one too, although this one is more of a comedy than Snowpiercer was. There are some dark elements. It takes a very dark turn halfway through the film, which was it was quite a big twist. But it works. It really does. The family in question, the poor family, remind me kind of, at the beginning they reminded me of that British comedy, The Royal Family. Just a bunch of, very poor, impoverished people in the royal family show. I think they lived in, council flats or something like that. Whereas this family in Korea also lives in bad neighborhoods and basement suites. And they're always on the make, trying to figure out how to make some money, and they're kind of, con artists in a way. So they're not, at first you're kind of like, oh man, these people are despicable. But then you start to kind of see their side of it. And then when you meet the wealthy family, I mean, they seem very nice and everything, but very vapid. So in a way, Parasite is referring to the poor family who's trying to take advantage of the rich people. But by the same token, Parasite applies to the wealthy family who's taking advantage of the poor people who have no choice but to do their bidding in order to survive. It's a really interesting juxtaposition. I think it's quite well written. Quite well written. The acting is very good. In the end, it is a bit of a tragic comedy. And I won't spoil it again, but I do encourage you to watch it and see what you think, because there are some things in it that you just really, really don't expect. What do you say, Tommy?
Yeah, I really loved this movie. Of course, it was a big hit. It was the Oscar winner for that year. You know, won a lot of awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, I believe. So it had a lot of hype, and I'd always been meaning to see it, but for some reason didn't see it till now. And it didn't disappoint. It was, like I said, extremely original, extremely creative. You never knew exactly where the story was going to go. I pretty much liked all the actors. I liked the cinematography. I liked the commentary they're going for. And yeah, I just liked the whole vibe of the movie. I just thought it was so unique. And, you know, it reminds me a little bit of Tarantino, not in the way the story is set up, but, you know, just sort of the exuberance, you know, of almost a cartoonish version of reality, you know, but just done with such exuberance and power that, like, you just sort of go with it. Yeah.
Definitely not as violent.
Not as violent as a Tarantino movie, but no. Apparently Tarantino's a big fan of this director, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was really excellent from start to finish. I couldn't have asked for a better movie.
I guess my only criticism would be that I found it a bit long. I know I say that many times, but a lot of the reason why I say that is because they could have told the same story in a slightly shorter film, and I think that it was necessary to have all that story told. But I think it could have been a little more efficient, but that's just a small little nitpick. I think that it's still a good movie, and I think that if it was a little shorter, I would have loved it.
All right, so how many Scholars Rocks out of 5 would you give this one?
Well, I'll give it 3.5. I really appreciated it, and I thought it was very well written. And yes, like you say, cinematography, it was really nice. Just a little too long for me. I was drawn in, but there were patches where I was kind of bored too, and I think that was again because it could have been a little more efficient. But 3.5, a solid 3.5. I still do recommend that you give it a whirl. What about you, Tommy?
I'll give it 5 Scholars Rocks out of 5. I thought this was just a perfect movie. I couldn't imagine it being any better. So yeah, I really, really loved this one.
Wow, well, there you go.
Yeah. All right, well, we hear some strange tapping from the closet. We better go check that out. But until next time, we'll see you on Random Movie Time.